In this video I want to tell a story. I want to tell you the story of how I started trophy hunting and how PlatinumBro came to be. Before I start my own story, I'd love to hear your story in the comments down below of how you actually started trophy hunting and why you still do to this day. So this story starts years and years ago. You know, as a kid I was a PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Nintendo kid. I did a bit of everything. And then I started Xbox, and you know, from my early teens, maybe a little bit younger, maybe from like the age of 9 or 10, I was really cemented as an Xbox fanboy. And it all started with the Xbox achievement system. Now as a kid, you know, 10, 11, 12, I had, as you can imagine, no income. I had no money other than selling my pre-owned games, which is why I have no games at all from the previous generations of Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3. So I would play these games and I would spend more time with the games that I loved just by getting the achievements, because I didn't have the money to go out and buy new games. Yeah, I was stuck with the games that I had, so I would play them and I'd get as many achievements as I realistically could. Looking back, I had so much fun with a lot of these games like Spider-Man Web of Shadows and Dragon Ball Z Raging Blast 2. I didn't 100% these games in the early days. I would just play them, and basically when I got bored of a game or I felt like the achievements asked for too much to achieve, I just put them aside. Simple at times, let me tell you that. My first 100% came in the form of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 in 2010. I was only 16 years old, and back then, Call of Duty, I know Call of Duty is really popular now, but back then, COD, Modern Warfare 1 and 2 were just insanely popular. I was a 16-year-old kid, I would get home from school and I would just play this game for like 10 hours on a night, and you just play into the early hours of the night and then just wake up for school, having 2 hours sleep and then not pay attention at all. During my time on Xbox I did earn a few 100% here and there. I earned the 100% in Skyrim, Oblivion, Quantum Break, and of course Terminator Salvation. I knew an easy game list even back then. I played my Xbox as my main primary console all the way up until 2017, until the very end of 2017, and in December 2017 I transitioned to the PlayStation 4. I pretty much skipped the entire PlayStation 3 generation. I did play some games here and there like The Last of Us and Uncharted 1 and 2. I decided to make the jump to PlayStation not because of the trophy system at all. In 2018 there was a game coming out that I knew for the life of me I could not miss, and if you know me at all, you may be able to guess that it was in fact Insomniac's Spider-Man. I knew that game was going to be the game for me, and I knew I just could not skip it. I played all the other Spider-Man games leading up to it, and yeah, a lot of them were trash, like Amazing Spider-Man 2, Edge of Time, but there were some good gems in there in the forms of Shattered Dimensions and Web of Shadows, and I was like, I'm not going to spin the dice, and the game looked fantastic, and it turned out to be an absolute masterpiece as well. So when I was on the achievement system, I would not finish my games 100%. I finished a few, as I've already said, and I would kind of, as long as I earned more than all of my friends in my friends lists, I'd be more than happy to leave it. And I was always really competitive with it, but I wouldn't go for 100%. If I was like, I've got more than Dave, who's a real person, I will then be like, okay, I'm gonna leave it and move on to the next game. And I thought when I moved on to the trophy system, I was like, now's my chance, you know, it's a clean slate. I did a bit of reading about the trophy system and I thought it sounds pretty cool, very similar to achievements but with a platinum trophy. And I was like, this is my chance to finish as many games as possible, because I have always had that completionist side in me, but you know, because of being a kid and not being that bothered about it, I kind of left it, but it was always there. And I knew when I started this new account, this was going to be the account for me. And I actually went in thinking I was going to earn 100%. A few games I have left throughout time, and some games have become unobtainable for those platinum, so I will never get that. So I earned my first platinum, which was Infamous Second Son, and my trophy hunting journey had begun, and in many ways PlatinumBro was in the early stages of being formed. I just found the trophy system so much more rewarding, mainly because of the platinum trophy. When you earn the platinum trophy, you have completed everything within the game that it asks you to do, and you can see on your account that you have done this, whereas on the achievement system, especially with the introduction of DLC, you know, you can have they're just numbers, it's just gamer score, and you can't really tell if someone at a first glance has completely finished 50,000, 60, 70, 80,000 gamer score and still not finished that many games. I think I finished on about 105,000 gamer score, and I had only completed fully about 10 games. Whereas on the trophy system, it is so clear once how many platinums you got, how many games you've actually finished. After the first platinum got its hooks in me, it stirred something within me, what can I say, the little ping, and then I realised that actually platinum trophies are fun, and you don't have to play 50-hour games to unlock them. That's right. So I kind of then slipped into the dark side of all these easy games. When I found out there was games you could platinum in 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 seconds, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go for the completionist side of me. I literally played hundreds upon hundreds of these cheeky little lads, and let me tell you, after playing them, I felt pretty dirty. I felt really, towards the end, pretty grim about them. And that's why I started calling them grubby games, because I felt like I needed to wash after them. And yes, for those new viewers, PlatinumBro is the person who actually introduced the term grubby into our ecosystem. Now, I would not change the fact that I earned all these grubby games. People have asked me that recently, and I think it shows a journey. And this is what this story is. It's telling you how it came to be. And after playing these games for quite some time, this led into PlatinumBro. So I spent, you know, hours and hours on YouTube, which I would have never spent, you know, watching guides, watching lists of like easy games and things like that. And I discovered the YouTube trophy hunting community through these grubby games. And I don't regret that at all. And that's kind of when the coin dropped, and I was like, I'm really passionate about gaming, and now I've found something I'm even more passionate about. And that's kind of how PlatinumBro came to be. So towards the end of earning these grubby games, I did find there to be a lack of fulfillment in them after earning them so many times and popping it. You're like, okay, the dopamine has come and gone. The dopamine release is not equivalent anymore because I've earned so many of them. And that was kind of when I was at the point in the channel and I was like, I want to start playing more and more harder games. And when I played a few harder games like Bloodborne, it did make me realize that these longer, harder games are just so much more rewarding when you actually finish them. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. And there you have it, guys. There was the whistle-stop tour of how I started trophy hunting. I hope you enjoyed this little story of mine. Now let me know in the comments down below how it all began for you. I'm sure we would all like to hear different people's experiences. And I'll catch you in the next video. Take it easy.